This is Lemmy with RevZilla here to talk to you today about EBC brake pads for Harley. You should be checking out a set of EBC brake pads for your Harley if you like to stop. I do. I'm expecting some of you do as well. EBC is cranking out pads for a pretty wide variety of Harley Davidsons right now. Most of what you're going to see here at RevZilla.com is going to be for late model bikes. I'm going to encourage you very strongly to put your bike into our bike finder. Let us show you the exact correct set of pads for your motorcycle. These are brakes. It's a big deal. Your life hangs in the balance. Don't risk ordering the wrong part. Installation on these is not terribly difficult. I'm going to say, mechanically speaking, it's a 1 beard, but I'm going to push it into the 2 beard category in our beard scale of difficulty, specifically because this is such a mission critical piece on your motorcycle. If you don't know exactly what you're doing here, it's plenty fine to bring these things to a shop or have someone who knows what they're doing look over your shoulder as you are installing them onto your motorcycle. If you've been riding a motorcycle for any period of time, you've probably heard of EBC. They're arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest name, in motorcycle friction products. These guys are out of Europe. Most of the brake pads you're looking at here are going to be made in the UK. They came to America in about the mid-'80s, and EBC really just kind of hit the ground running. They very quickly became one of the dominant suppliers of motorcycle brakes in this country. They have lots of different formulations, lots of different fitments. We're going to be focusing specifically today on 2 that they offer for Harley Davidson motorcycles. I really like both of these pads because I think they're very appropriate for most Harley motorcycles. We're going to start off first with their entry-level pad here. This is an organic pad. Now, if you're not familiar with organic pad formulations, they offer a lot of benefits. Generally speaking, they're super easy on rotors and they're very quiet. They're very easy to live with. One of the downsides to an organic pad, however, is that the life on them can be a little bit questionable. You're not always getting great life out of these. EBC knows this, so what they did to help out with the life here is they actually added aramid fibers into the mix. That's aromatic polyamides. What they do is they act as a long-lasting fiber within this matrix that they use for their brake pad puck material. So you guys may be familiar with aramid fibers. It's used actually in a lot of motorcycle protective gear. It's also used in bulletproof armor. Those fibers are long-lasting, hard-wearing fibers. So the addition of those into the brake pad itself allows these to still retain the great characteristics of an organic pad, that low noise, that gentle treatment of the rotors. However, it's also going to help extend the life of these. Now, if you're a little bit more of a hot rod rider, you ride a little bit more aggressively, you might want to look at something like their semi-sintered line. So the semi-sintered line is similar to an organic pad, only what EBC does here is they actually add in some metal to the mix. So if you look at a fully race spec pad, a full sintered pad, those are actually made entirely of metals. Rather than go quite that far, what EBC does here is actually mixes some of that metal into their organic compound. So you're getting some of that benefit of a fully sintered pad without having something so aggressive. A fully sintered pad, they can tend to be a little bit loud and they need to run really, really hot. So rather than having a full sintered pad, the addition of the metal kind of, again, gives you some of that aggressive braking that you'll get with a fully sintered pad, but the pads don't need to be nearly as hot to work. They're not going to be nearly as loud, and again, they're going to be a little bit easier to live with on a day-to-day type of a schedule. Alrighty, let's talk installation just a bit more in depth. As I mentioned, I called this a 2-bearder. I'm going to say, mechanically speaking, probably only a 1-beard. If you've installed brake pads before, these install exactly the same as the ones you've done in the past. For those of you who have not ever done brake pads before, I would caution you, sit down, take stock of your ability, your skill set, and your tool set. You don't need a bunch of tools in order to do these. However, because they are brakes, they're mission critical items, you really should be fully confident that you know what you're doing when you're putting these things together. If not, it's totally fine to have a shop do them or have a buddy come over, maybe babysit you as you're actually getting through the job. For those of you who are interested in doing this yourself and need a little bit more education, we've actually made a couple of how-to videos. You can check out our how to replace brake pads video, as well as how to bleed brakes, another service you may want to do as you're installing fresh brake pads on your motorcycle. I love EBC brakes, and I'm not alone. You can check out the thoughts of some other riders by clicking that info button. Tons of people rock EBC brakes on their motorcycles, and I am one of them. Don't take my word for it, though. Like I said, hit that info button, see what some other riders are saying. If you need a little bit more help, something a little bit more individualized, or perhaps you need some installation or product recommendations, get in touch with one of our very friendly gear geeks. See us at RevZilla.com, or of course, you can always pick up the phone, give us a call on the Telling Bone, 877-792-9455. I'm Lemmy. I'm out of here.